Hello, Mochismo Eugene, and welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up. Pass it on if you believe someone else would benefit from it. I would appreciate that. Let's talk about the delusion of the narcissist. Many of us have covered it several times, but it is very important that we continue to cover this repetitively. The delusion that narcissists have is what really prevents them from changing. Secondly, if they were to try to change, it is so embedded in their wiring that what are they going to change to? I mean, because obviously what they see in you is something that is that draws them to them to you. But they don't want to change into that. They want to capture that in you and basically ride your back. They want to ride in your car without, helping you put gas in it, without paying for the food on the road trip. They just want a free ride. And if they were to try to change, what are they going to change to? Because they despise your essence, but it's attractive at the same time. It's a very hypocritical mindset that they have. They like you and they hate you. They're very conflicted. But the delusion that they have inside of their head, they have formed this from a long time ago, and they have mastered that art of deception. And so they're more concerned about manipulation than trying to change for the better. They will, however, adopt certain facades and mannerisms to get them in the game or to get them in the door with the said targets. And to untrained eyes, they blend right in. Matter of fact, the charisma that they have, they come in unbeknownst to anyone. But you'll have some people in the corner that are a little bit skeptical. Those people are pretty much free thinkers to a strong degree, but they have been conditioned in our society. A conscious collective is what they've become, because they've designed their mannerism, or they've adopted their mannerisms or adjusted their mannerisms to fit into the people around them. But they, however, do have this hesitancy of sorts, but a lot of times they won't voice it because they see 5 people over in the corner just loving on this narcissist, gravitating to this narcissist. And for that person in the corner, or these people, or this this group of people that are hesitant, they won't dare say anything negative because their image is riding on this situation. They don't want to draw any unwanted attention to themselves. And so the delusion of that narcissist is strong. It is so strong, and until it creates a grandiose mentality, like they are the best. There is none better. There is nobody else that exists could come closer to who they are. It's a God complex. But they, however, you'll see them flock to a church, and they will begin to hold positions in that church. Positions in that church that they've got to, they've become positioned in that church because they've been persuasive. They get to the people who they see are weak-minded, gullible, susceptible to their manipulation. And I don't care what position that person has in the church. It could be the pastor himself. So if the pastor's so holy and so he is so riding on the word of God, to where his conscious empathy is not being monitored and measured, and using his visuals and all of the other things that God has given him, he'll denounce and just pass off all of those things that those handful of people in that corner detected, for the same reasons. because no one wants to rock the boat. But awakened empaths, when you've done this shadow work and shadow integration and the inner work and going into that individuation stage of knowing you more than you know anything on this planet, getting to know you at the core, your weaknesses and your strength, you begin to be able to speak what needs to be spoke if there should be a situation where it needs to be spoke. Many times, awakened empath, we won't speak about something if we know that is not going to accomplish a desired result, because we understand as an awakened empath who've done the shadow work that we pick our fights precisely, methodically, and we pick them pretty much based on many factors that we can observe even before the person even speaks. We can observe their persuasions or the lack thereof. We can determine whether their persuasions are so strong by other people till we won't even try to open that gate, because we know it's a futile attempt. And that's why you have a lot of people looking at the narcissist and they're saying, you know what, everybody can change. That everybody can change, but everybody won't change. I believe anything is possible. But when we forget the very elementary things that I just talked about, they're very delusional. They're highly delusional. They have a God-like complex. They have a grandiose mentality. And for that reason, those things have to be recognized as such, and they have to be addressed. The narcissists won't address these things. So therefore, this is the reason why there is no change. This is the very best way to say it, guys. And I just wanted to talk about this for a brief moment because I know a lot of you guys are probably out of the relationships. You may have some distance. You may be yet still living with the narcissist, family member, intimate partner, husband, wife, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, cousins, or friends. And you're trying to just take your time easing out of the situation. Time's up. I know your situation may not warrant you being able to just abruptly bounce, but you have to do the work. You have to be diligent about getting away and out permanently. No holds barred, no strings attached. Get out, stay out, go so. Because if you're really getting this education, you're coming to a point of realizing that there is no chance that this individual will consider you as a whole human being with feelings, emotions that need to be respected. They're on demon time. They are on demon time. And they're doing things most often that they've been recruited to do spiritually. And they've enlisted and they've pledged allegiance to this. And some would say, you know, all of the stuff they've gone through, all of the back and forth, and every time they get involved with somebody, can't they just see it never works out? Well, that's you looking at it in a way where you awakened, and a lot of things you may visually see that they attempt to do, try to use people, and it doesn't work out for them. But you have to understand, there is so many more people that haven't recognized and realized that they're using and manipulating them and abusing them. And if they don't have an indispensable fuel source, Because anything is fuel to a narcissist. They can go out to a thrift store and interact with people in that thrift store. I've seen this. And they can meet someone on common ground, start talking about knickknacks, this and that. And before you know it, that's all they need. They just need to top off. And they'll spend their daily grind just going around places, frequenting places to attract attention and to get that adulation, admiration, which equals into fuel. They're always on the go, guys. They cannot sit still and spend time with themselves, which is a blessing and a gift of an empath. We resonate with isolation and solitude. We resonate with it. Even before we awakened, that was something that was our superpower, and we just had no idea how all this fit together. But now we're coming to a point of understanding. Even the Christ spent a lot of his time, predominantly most of his time, here in this land by himself. Praying and fasting, of course, because he had a job to do. He had a task. He had a goal in mind. He had a mission. Likewise, empaths, you have a mission. And that mission is to be the best you can be, thereby drawing others to you in a way where it encourages them and inspires them to be the best human being that they know how to be in reverence of God, the Creator. It's a beautiful life when you look at life that way. These things that people are chasing, you and I both, we've chased them at some point in life, and a lot of things we still feel like we need and we don't. But again, we come to points where we can start analyzing and start introspecting and see where certain things are just not beneficial, whether they benefit us or not. We can see it's just not even beneficial. It's just a futile waste of effort just to do certain things. You know, we like having fun. We like doing things because we're human. We have to live a life that brings us satisfaction to some degree, whether it's riding a bike, taking a walk, helping someone, building something. Christ was a carpenter. We built things. We're builders. We are builders, and narcissists are destroyers. I think that's all I want to say about that, guys. So, you know, just remember, the narcissist is highly, extremely delusional. And this is a big reason why they cannot change. They cannot turn over a new leaf. They can give you the illusion. So back to what I was saying before I close, you guys that are still engaged with said narcissists, you can't just be spinning your wheels and waiting and putting off getting that distance away from the narcissist. You know, don't put it off. Because even as we speak, if you're in close proximity with them and they detect that you are getting some type of get right about yourself, you're becoming to a point where you you appear different. You're a little standoffish, you're a little more reserved. They sense this change and shift in you, and they panic. So if they hadn't already determined that they're going to discard you, this is a strong reason why they may in fact up the ante and start degrading you, devaluing you at a rapid rate. And this is in preparation to discard you. And believe it or not, they're steadily smearing you too. They're laughing in your face while they're talking behind your back. And this is contingent on when they discard you. This is the narrative that has to play out, that they did the best they could. And it was just unbearable to deal with you. Okay, guys, that being said, bless.